Yo Q, what up? Yo Q,
man,
what
I'm
up?
keeping it real. What up, Duan?
Welcome
Let's get it.
to not just music, where we keep it real and honest.
Always.
My mama praying, telling me, Q, you need to chill. They can't respect the truth from just silence.
What's going on, everybody? Another episode, Not Just Music Podcast, where we always love to keep it real
And always honest.
Blessings to those that are back and watching us here again, once more again.
What's up, people?
How are y'all doing? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Excellent. So, today, we are back, and we have a small topic at hand. I kind of fluctuated a little bit, but it's really a big situation to those that are of the church. I have one question. Actually, Q actually had a question to me the other day that concerned. Well, it wasn't really a thing of it lined up directly with what we're talking about today, but
yeah,
I'm gonna let Q explain it a little bit because it's a very touchy subject.
Yeah.
I'm me being so into the church scene. Q is too, but still for me it's a different light
and
for
everything
me.
Being in it, yeah. It's
But yeah, what
So what I came across, what I wanted to ask you is, you being a producer, you doing what you do, and you being a man of God, your family is strict, in the church and everything. All eyes are on you. Will it be difficult if I say like somebody wanted to do business with you and it probably didn't align with the Christianity or the Christian way? Like, for example, like for my twerkers out there that might want to use one of your beats, like, would you be comfortable doing business even when they came with you with cash, want to pay you and all, you know what I'm saying? Will you turn down business like that in situations, or would you do business with them? And also my second part is, have you ever turned anybody down from business, like in those situations?
Okay, I'm gonna answer them first before I'm gonna answer. The first one is yes, I would work with them.
Okay.
Secondly, have I turned anybody down? Yes, I have. So this goes a couple ways, and let me explain. I love this question because this is a good question. First, business is business.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn that. Once I learned that business was business, it kind of changed how I familiarize with certain situations. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I've turned more Christian situations down than anything, even the regular folk. Like,
why is that? Like, can you elaborate?
It's Christians are sometimes fake. That's a blunt way to say that. And it's real. People that are in the Christianity world sometimes don't come across as direct as they should. To me, it's and I give a perfect example. Like, take for instance, let's use for example. Let's go this route.
Okay.
Take like Zaytoven, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zaytoven is one of the biggest producers that introduced trap music, especially in production, in a total different way. Mm-hmm. Now, every artist that he's worked with is street. Like,
he's worked with Lecrae.
He's worked with Lecrae. That's recently,
which is a gospel.
But I'm speaking of his original. When he first came on, he got on with Gucci. That was it. Him, Gucci.
I get where you going with it.
Gucci and
wasn't it Future? Didn't he work with Future?
Future was to come. What's the other dude? Scooter. Scooter.
Yeah.
Future boy. Scooter. So, like, looking at how Zay is definitely in the church every single Sunday. He plays for a church down in Atlanta. I can't even think of the name. Well, down in Georgia. Mm-hmm. His dad is a pastor. if I'm not mistaken, too. So it's like you take instances of somebody, you look at their craft. The craft is to inspire.
Yeah.
You're not the person, if you're, what you presented wasn't of any, there's guidelines to it, but when you just a creator, you're a creator. You can't help that part of you.
Yeah.
Just like when we come in here, we sit down, we talk about different things, we talk about different topics, but that don't take away from my Christianity.
Exactly.
Now let's go to the part of, because I'm trying not to talk about this a long time.
But let me ask you something though. But don't you think? Because I have experience, because like what I do in the church, and being in the church, I have came across to where people have judged me off my material. You know what I'm saying? So you will admit that exists. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's kind of hard.
That's the hardest part of it, when your art gets that red flag. Now, for me, like, I've had different instances where, and this is dead honest truth, like, I know a lot of people that sing right now, low key R&B outside of the church. Problem for me though, you're not being either you're a cover artist, or excuse me, no, either you're a ghost artist, as I call it, because you have ghost writers, but you have ghost artists too, bro. Like, so let's take for example, let's just say SZA, right? That's your favorite, one of your favorites, right? So check me. So say if SZA came out, right, and everybody, like, say her beginning path of her just being a writer, maybe people didn't even know that she was like a Christian, right? But due to, maybe I'm just saying, just for her comfortability of what she was doing, she just might have stuck to the writing lane because she didn't want the whole situation of, oh, my church find out, this gonna be a problem. And see, I've been there before. And that's the crazy part. As a musician, you get graded even harder, bro. I'm gonna tell you why. Because,
and it pushes people out of the church, I feel, because it's like you gotta pick.
And it's scary. It's a scary thing for a pastor or even the people of a church to judge. But then you think about it though, your judgment really doesn't have anything to do with my calling. So, like, if you being a rapper, like, people gonna always feel like, okay, rappers,
he talking about this on the song, how he gonna believe in God?
And this is the biggest thing to me. If you believe in God, you believe in God. That don't have nothing to do with your rap.
Exactly.
It don't have nothing to do with your talking.
And let me interject, like, come in right there. Like, the reason why I feel like being yourself also, like, like you say, it's entertainment, it's our craft. Reason why I feel like being yourself is good for drawing in people, that's like you. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you might not get people just talking holy. No. Some people, you gotta speak their language, if you get what I'm saying. And like I said, I could rap this on a song and say this, but deep down, I'm a man of God. I know where my strength comes from. When it comes down to it, I know where my faith and all that comes down. So if I can lead somebody in by just being me, and then when they get in, like, God is the answer, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody can't reach people, like, with a suit and tie and, you know what I'm saying, up there preaching holy. Like, it's different callings. Like, if we know the Bible, the people God was dealing with wasn't like, good people at first. They was, committing sins. So, like, you can, you help people that's, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't have it all the way together, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, and see, and this is basically what I'm saying too, like, to add more to what you just said. So, even for those that are judgmental of it, and this is even still speaking on, like, your original question, like, working with somebody makes me not a Christian or makes me not in the light of what God wants me to be, who are you to judge? One. Two, my creativity and somebody buying into my creativity is something totally different than saying that, we
created something together, you know, in the lane of saying like, oh, we collided. I knew what you was gonna do with my music, all of that stuff like that from the jump. Yeah, it's a different story. It doesn't sound like I put a judgment tag on somebody, but for if you understand that you're buying my product, that's a different situation. It wouldn't feel, you know, because you don't know what somebody's gonna write. You know, even just like saying, even if, like you said, a rapper, just think about just like those people that judge. We don't know how they go out and go to work every day and what type of work they do, what type of job they do, what they got to talk about at their job. It may not be nothing Christian like of what even they do.
But at the end of the day, man, it's about minding your business though. Like, as Christians, man, I think we the most, some Christians, and I'm not gonna say all, but we the most pickiest people sometimes. Yeah. The most judgmental people at times. And when God, you know, God says that's a sin to judge, you know, and nobody supposed to judge anybody but God. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because like when you judge people, I mean, you push them away. Like, you know, you hammering them, you're sinning, you're doing it. It's not gonna bring them to the church, and people wonder why they look around and the church is empty. Yeah. Cause like some people have been church hurt. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
That's very common. Church. I mean, the judgment of the Christian faith is very, very, very different. I think that'll be the title of this one. Like judgment, just basically judgment of the Christian, you know, faith. Like that's a lot of people don't understand it until they get in it, and like if you're in a church situation, you'll understand it way better. And I mean, even those that aren't really in the church can kind of feel it too, because like, you know, some Christians do judge what they see a lot, just even in the streets, you know, and it's hard to like really call judgment on something if you're not gonna try to do anything to fix it. That's just like with most like, you know, I like, you know, like neighborhoods and stuff like that. People walking around neighborhoods. Shoot, most neighborhoods, if they're run down due to the cause of the people that are in that neighborhood situation were never taught value. Yeah. And you can't knock anybody for something that they don't know about. You got to do things to fix it. So just like I said with the Christian faith, like with Christian people, you know, our faith is built differently. But my thing is, if you have faith, how can you help somebody would be more suitable than just sitting there, oh, did you hear Q song? Did you hear that?
Before you even get to know the man.
Did you? And then he called it "In God in God I trust." You know, like, and then had a nerve to use vulgarity in his song.
But you know what? This is the honest truth. Like, cause I'm sure people are talking like this. I know. Yeah. You know, God talks to me. Like, I'm sure people judge me off my material. You know, but at the end of the day, my heart is pure. Like, I mean, I know who I am as a person. I know who I really am. So, like, judging, because I don't judge anybody else. So, it's not nobody lane to judge me off a song, you know?
It's not. And to me...
it's a testimony. The way I express myself may be different. If you listen to that In God I Trust, people, if you haven't checked it out, like, it's a testimony. You know, it has a little cussing here and there, but if you go past the cussing and listen to the message, you get what I'm saying. It'll hit home. See, that's the problem. We worry about how a person says things nowadays. We're touchy. It's not about what a person is saying. If you look deep down into what they're saying, it's a message, people. You get what I'm saying? That can touch people. We're talking our gospel in a certain way. Like rappers, and they're telling their stories in certain ways, like expressing themselves in certain ways, like minus the cussing and everything. It's deeper than that. You know, they're telling you, and there's lessons in these songs and these messages that if you really pay attention, you know, they trying to strive you away from it. Some of the stuff you hear, it should scare you. You know what I'm saying? Like, some things are examples of what not to be. You know, you see it, just be like, man, I don't want to go through that. You hear, he said he shootouts every day. Yeah. You know, you gonna stray away from it. So yeah, bro. Yeah.
And this is like you for people who don't understand, like, there's a new way to express. I think a lot of people run haywire trying to, you know, call shots to what should be under that umbrella of what Christianity should be, which makes it ugly to me, because like a lot of people don't understand Christianity the way it was 50 years ago to now. And, a lot of people put their own spin on it to the point where it's like, okay, that they'll take a scripture and try to use a scripture to whoop you with it and take it totally out of context for what it was meant for.
And you know what they call it? They call it the old school way.
Yeah, and
that's what they call it.
You can't feel the same way all the time. We
human, man.
Old school is good, it's solid. That's one thing I like about the old school Christians. They're solid. But
times have changed.
And it's got to the point where, here's a new age of things coming around now, considerably now. I caught a different phase of understanding like certain Christianity, especially coming through the 80s, and then coming from the 80s going into the 90s and 90s going into 2000. And like it really changed. It was 3 different phases of what Christians really believed to be, a real Christian. It's crazy though, but like you said though, and just the original question saying, have you turned a Christian down? Have you turned anybody down
that doesn't
the most ones I've turned down the most were something to do with something that had of Christian nature,
and that's deep.
That's deep, right? Yeah. But that's how I learned. Like, I'd rather deal with people like you, somebody that can say, okay, here's the person I could talk to in the natural, and I could talk to in the Christian, light. There's the Christian light and there's that real light. If I can't talk to you real and be honest with you,
it's fake. It's not real. It's not authentic.
Just like how we speak about in our podcast, we try to keep it real as much as possible, because if you don't, you're not getting your story out. So a lot of the times, people listen, like how I get my art is, mine is not always like writing, putting down on paper or anything like that, or writing a rap or something. Mine is the music. My communication is coming through the music. You can hear what I'm feeling or thinking about or what I'm going through just through beats. You know what I'm saying? Just by listening to a beat.
That's why I write the songs you produce, man. And the tone to them is
I'm speaking, and that's how it's supposed to be. Like how you come and take a song like Panic, for instance, right?
Yep.
And
depression.
Some people will hear it and be like, okay, it meshed well. So did y'all sit down and like put that together at the same time? It wasn't a thing like that. It was just one of those things. Like I told you, you had something you could do with it. You chose that song. You went with it. Now
it's about playing your role. Like you played your role, I played my role.
And see, that's the part. See, now the Christian person will probably be like, well, that's gonna get the wrong message across. Nah, considerably. I know people, just like how you said, good name to bring up because it can help me give you an example. Lecrae can take a beat in the same light as Panic, right, and write something that is so prolific, anthem like.
Yeah.
Like how you treated it as if it's anthem like. It's something that's, you can completely say this is repetition at its finest, because that's what it's about.
He'll throw Bible verses and all,
and give you something that and it has like
that catchiness.
Yeah, it gives you that feel that the beat is carrying, but then the words, the rap is giving you that. Okay, that's a great way to go about it. But see,
but you know what, Christians are down, like they that too.
It's the mental,
because it's not singing.
It's not. It's so you so tied into that. Yeah, you're so tied into that. That's scary. That it's supposed to be a certain way, and that's the part what I'm trying to. I'm glad Kirk Franklin took a avenue at doing different gospel music that could be like, okay, this could be controversial, but at the same time, I'm gonna give it to the people and see if they listen to what's going on or listen to the song, the song in its entirety. Just like how you did in God I Trust. Like, okay, if you listen to the song in its entirety, you'll understand it. Only reason why I get to understand your songs is because I listen to them like 1,000 times because I gotta mix them. So I catch verses and listen to words and catch the words, so I know it. So it's like, okay, I know the music, I know the songs. I can point out, even how you take it and this is a good point too to make with that. Just in like still sticking to that, that line of Christianity and the world and the natural, as we call it, the natural versus Christianity. Mm-hmm. So even in the natural ear, you can listen to that song, and then you will come totally different when it's time to do it in show form.
Exactly.
Which blew me. I was like, okay, I'm thinking to myself, like, how is this dude gonna do this song?
Bro, it's easy.
Bro, no, it is not easy.
It's easy.
No, it is not. No, for you, it is. It is not easy to put a spin on your words for it to make sense how you did it.
But to me, bro, it comes easy.
But see, that's the art. But this is the part what I'm explaining. And that's the part that's perfect to me.
Yeah.
Like you understand, period. Yeah. That's basically what I'm saying. You understand it, because people will be like, okay, well, I heard that song, and he don't need to do that song.
And then when I do it live,
you do it live, you do it no cursing, and
it's still high. It's
and
higher than the original.
You can literally ride that song without you can do that song with just the beat, without any words being like any spots. And I know,
we put these videos
I know, and for the sake of, I remember that one. I can't remember what. I think it was one when you did that. It was
I performed it in the church.
It's a church, and it was one more. I'm trying to think about where it was. It was somewhere else you did it one more time. I saw a piece of it.
Or was it outside?
It was outside. It was outside. You still put a spin on it, but I can't remember what song. You put a spin on these songs that make it right, and that's considerably to me. Considerably to me, that is the main part of the conversation we're having right now.
Mm-hmm.
Your value is in what you know how to do with your craft.
Exactly.
If you are understanding of your craft and your talent in that moment that you're in, like when you're on stage or whenever you taking that song,
Yeah.
I think you say real people,
brothers, real sisters, put your hands up.
So you you're commanding the crowd. So when you hear,
can I say something? Yeah. Like when I say real brothers, real sisters, you gotta know your environment. You have to adapt to your environment.
Yeah.
If you're in a family gathering, a church, real brothers, real sisters.
Yeah.
Now I might not use real brothers, real sisters over here in the club or in the hood.
Yeah.
You gotta know that's the part of being an artist, bro. Like that minus the Christianity and all that. It's about an artist. You have to be versatile. Like if you one dimension, you will not make it in this game, or you might miss opportunities and doors you couldn't reach because you were so one dimensional.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I love this. This is value. This is value. So for those that listen to this, we pay respect to the Christian, but at the same time, we pay respect to what's real.
Yeah.
Now, it's two ways you can take this. Now, if you're so real that you don't understand the Christian faith, I ain't mad at you. I understand. If you're a Christian that can't break away from your Christian faith or your Christianality to understand what's real or that natural, I'm sorry for you. I understand though. Again, I understand both sides, but to be able to digest it both ways is considerably what needs to be understood. Mm-hmm. So if I choose to work with somebody that has, and this is to me like one of the biggest things with being a Christian is the church. The church is supposed to bring in people of all kinds, all natures, all walks of life,
exactly,
all of that. And if you're going to stand in judgment, that is not how God wants us to be. So I can't press a beat that I've made has its own value. Whatever that person chooses to do with it, that's up to them. Mm-hmm. But as long as they understand like what my Christianity comes with, the lines of my Christian and lifestyle, if they understand it, they won't interfere. You gotta be
able to separate the wine the producer and the wine the man.
Just like you got Q the rapper, and then you have and see people take that too serious to me. And Christians really have to tone down in some light of understanding what's really going on in the world. Like, God is everywhere, but we have to introduce him to these people if it's that time and that place, and understand you don't press it on them. You give it to them. You
and this is another. Let me jump in because I've had this issue. A lot of people, that's the Christian world, the people, like they ask you to do something, right? You know what I'm saying? They ask you to do something, and you do it your way. And they'll criticize you, or they'll say, "Nah, we didn't want it that way." If you want somebody to do something, you have to have ability to let them do it their way. Especially if it's not breaking no rules or anything. You know what I'm saying? I might have not have done it to your perfection, but I did it to a perfection I feel that was necessary.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the judgmental part that I feel like it has to stop. You know what I'm saying? Because it pushes people away.
It does.
Like I'm sitting here, I go in with an open mind and heart. You know what I'm saying? I might not be 100%, always right in this world, but my heart is probably bigger than a lot of Christians, and my forgiveness and my especially my heart. You know what I'm saying? Cause I don't judge people,
which is good, and see that's the problem. Like, again, that part people are going to have to understand. Now that's to me, like, people, you can't blame people for who if their craft gets them further and helps further their life and makes their family's life better. Like, you can't knock nobody for that, y'all. Like all us Christians, if we calling ourselves Christians. Like, understand that judgment day is gonna come for everybody.
Exactly.
Judgment day is gonna come for everybody. You got to stand there by yourself. It ain't gonna be with your family. Ain't gonna be with your friends. Like you got to stand judgment and on the judgment day for your own self. So make sure that you're in the right lines of understanding that that's what it could be, or that's what it's going to be. Worry about yourself. Don't get caught up judging Q about his song. Don't get caught up in judging me for what I'm tied into, which I don't. Nobody asks for these lanes that they're tied into. They're given this lane for a reason.
It's crazy you bring that up, because that was one of the somebody in my church's testimony yesterday. Mind your business.
Yeah.
Mind your business. Yeah. She was talking to these Christians. Like, she said somebody had a friend of hers had called her and wanted her opinion. Like, should she put the such and such out and this and that? She said, that's not my call.
Yeah.
That's not my business,
Yeah.
Cause that's the thing. Like, Christians should stay in their place.
They should. And
I feel like you should mind your business.
And this is to
be
me,
less judgmental and try to help and be the solution and help the problem.
It'll be a lot more Christians on the earth if it was more faithful Christians.
Yeah.
And that, to me, like, the faithful Christian to me is able to walk in a room, and it isn't saying that you gotta walk in, oh, hallelujah, thank you, God. Yes, Jesus is the only way, and you can do that, but that's not going to be taken the correct way.
And we do want to say this: we not down in Christians.
No.
We not down in the church, because there's some great people in the church. There's some real people in the church. We talking about the ones that's not real and judgmental.
There you go.
And shut doors and before people can get accepted into the church.
Exactly.
We're not talking down on you. We just saying lighten up a little bit and try to have an open mind and open heart and realize that this is a new generation. You know what I'm saying? A new time. Like, everybody, I know God said you should find a wife, settle down, and plant a garden. You know what I'm saying? But today's time, it might not be that simple. It's different people, different attitudes, different agendas, different economic, ways, struggles and everything.
Generation has changed.
Families, the family, big mama's not there now. The dad's not there.
Nope.
You have to put all that in consideration, Christians, before you judge the world now.
Exactly. And this is to close this out. And I'm going to ask you this question. Even with the music that you write, do you feel conforming to what people love or understand the Christian to be, or do you continue along the lines of what you've been doing?
I continue along the line what I've been doing, and I say this, like, a lot of songs I go back and listen to them. They have with minus the cussing, they have Christian ways to them. They have messages to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I talk about depression, you know, at my lowest. You know, because it's people that deal with depression in churches. You know, even the strong, we get depressed.
Exactly.
I deal, you know, love songs, because it's all about love. I want to spread love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anger. You know, like murder. And I want to say the titles. When you hear these titles, when like murder, for example, one of my songs titled "Murder." It doesn't necessarily mean murder somebody. Mm-hmm. It could be murdering the past out of your mind. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or murdering a situation to move on, to progress. Mm-hmm. Because if you stick on something and stay on something in the past, you know, you're always going to be, it's going to hold you down. So when I say murder, I'm talking about I'm murdering every negativity, every negative thought, so I can move forward. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's messages that I think of these things, like the way the world see it and the way I see it, my lyrics is totally different. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like my message is pure. My message is real. My message is a message I think everybody should hear. You know what I'm saying? And my music is pure. Mm-hmm. You know, it's me. It's Quincy Murdoch. So with that being said, to shorthand what he said, it's all about the context and how you take it. Stop taking things so seriously. Stop judging how you hear. Think a little deeper. Open your mind a little wider sometimes. Sometimes. Some stuff is very plain to hear, but you have to decode what we say and how we say things in these days. Yeah. Like it's sometimes there is things that are out here that are very, very blunt in nature. But again, for those that aren't like, those that do listen and understand, remember, it's just like you do with the Bible. Y'all take y'all own way and own route with the Bible. Everything in the Bible ain't all good either. And look, let me add this in. I'm sorry, man, but I dare anybody, you know, to go back and listen to all my material. I have never promoted violence. I've always promoted self-defense. I promote fighting back. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, as Christians, that's another thing. It's okay to fight back. Mm-hmm. I know they say turn the other cheek, but it's gonna be some situations where you gotta fight back, realistically. Mm-hmm. Like they say, God gave us common sense too. You know what I'm saying? We Christians, but we got common sense. So if somebody breaking your house and your family is there, you're gonna do whatever you gotta do to protect your family.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We can't take the Martin Luther King stance all the time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we gotta be Malcolm X.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I love both of them, no disrespect. But I'm just saying, you know, each situation calls for a different reaction.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
All right, y'all. It's all love. We appreciate y'all hanging in.
I love this episode.
You know, we always like to bring good stuff that we can talk about. If nothing else, something that we can, you know, communicate to people and they can hear what we have to say about it, what we feel about it. Remember, This is our platform. We can speak how we want to, as freely as we want to, and nothing is to be a thing of it as we're lashing out, but we just like to talk about it, you know, because we do need to make some changes. You know, it's not saying change what God wants us to be, but as us being Christians and understanding what being a Christian is, we have to stop being so judgmental. All right. Not Just Music Podcast, where we keep it real
and honest.
And we'll see y'all the next time.